Already, sorry I got interrupted by a work call, but I'm back now. So to recap what I did on my last 7 minute little stream there, so I started getting into Warhammer 40k, built some models, painted some. It seems like a fun hobby. It's relaxing. Um, you get to take your time, and you can really see your improvement model after model. So, just recap again. My first Marine, what he looks like. Basically, just follow the gut. I wasn't the best at painting. But just in the next couple of days on my second model, I got a lot better, I think. Especially with some of the details being more accurate. And then on my third model, again, you can see a lot of progress. I think I did way better on the details with the gun, way better on the highlights and the shading and adding some grit. Used a few more colors, gave it a little more depth with the shading. That branched out. I tried a Dungeons and Dragons model. Still a work in progress. He's cool. Games Workshop model quality is a lot higher than what you can get on the Dungeons and Dragons ones, and I suppose it justifies the cost. And now we're working on the Space Dwarves, these Hearthkyn warriors. So let me move some of the stuff around, and we'll get to building at least one model, and we'll paint at least one model. So let me clear the desk out real fast. Okay, so I've made a few already, but we're going to make some more of these Hearthkyn warriors. Get our sprues out from the box, or go in order. We're not sure exactly what sprues we'll need, but I'll take all of them out. All right, so there are 3 sprues with all of your parts on them. A sticker sheet with some wet transfer stickers, decals, and then your model book that's got the directions for building the models. Different combinations, different options. So if you look from the start, the book shows you what parts you'll have, what transfer stickers you'll have, decals, how to use the book, and then some variants and parts. So we've built a couple. We've built like 4 models already. I think I am on to this fella here with the large, looks like a railgun or sniper rifle or something. So he'll be cool to build. We'll build him. So we'll need, here you can see we'll need piece 10, piece 12, and piece 11. Also piece 9, your base. And then you have 3 options. You can use this railgun looking thing. Looks like a regular assault rifle, or you can give him a pistol and a knife. So I think we'll do the railgun or sniper rifle. And that is piece 17. You'll need piece 13 for his arm and piece 14 for the other arm. So all told, that is, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. So let's go in order. We'll put the decals, wedge them in here. And we're going to need 10 and 12 to start. So I've got, for my Gundam building, I've got some glass files to take the edge off some plastic, a sanding stick for some detailed work, and I'll go through my pieces and stuff. If anyone is actually interested in what I have, I'll let you know. I've got some nippers from Amazon. Clean the oil off of them. And some, they're fairly good nippers. They rip right through plastic. Fairly cleanly as well. So we're going to look for piece 10 and 12 to start. So on this here sprue, I do not see 10 and 12. So we'll put that to the side for now. All right, these look like the hundreds. So we don't need these right yet. So if I'm going to be blessed, the parts I'm looking for are going to be on this tree. So I see the railgun 17 here. All right, there's 11, there's 10, and 12. There's 13, and there's 12. Okay. So 10 and 12 first. So I like to cut just the way I would cut Gundam. Leave a little bit on the model to clean up later. We'll get 12 here. And then we'll grab 11 and 9. Where's 11? There's 11. And then 9. Here's 10. Where is 9? Okay. What else do we need? We need 17, 13, and 14. So 17. $14 and 13. Where's 13? There it is. Okay, so now that all of our pieces are cut off the sprue, or we need a head as well. It says use head 1 and 4. Yeah, we could do that. Or optional, number 1 or 4. So what does 4 look like here? All right, well, we can grab him. Okay. So all of our pieces are cut out. We'll use the book to guide us in assembly in a second. But let's clean up some of these lines and get to sanding and gluing. So we're going to be careful when we get close in. We don't want to leave any stretch marks with the nippers. I'm going to get as close as I can without doing that. It needs a little cleanup there with the knife and the sanding sticks. Again, trying to get as clean as possible. This one here. Okay, so clean. we're just going to go piece by piece and clean up all of the extra flashing. You just be careful you're not nipping off anything that's actually a part of the model. And the good thing about this is, unlike with Gundam, this is going to be covered up with paint. So as long as you do a good job sanding and cutting, any imperfection will be unnoticeable. Okay. So now we're going to sand. You put our nippers back in the box. There are a few heads rolling around in here. No, don't pay attention to that. Grab up our little bits of plastic. Sweep them off to the side for now. I've seen some people keep those for either mixing up extra plastic cement or using them as bits of terrain, dirt, rocks, what have you, on bases. So it's a good idea. All right, let's start sanding. So I'm just going to grab the pointed file. Oh, we actually need our knife to clean up some of this. So grab my hobby knife and go in here and clean up some of this. Just very gently. And be very careful when you're using a knife. Just as always. All right, that one is fairly clean. This one as well. These will be covered up by plastic cement, so I'm just going to give it a little shave just to pick up any raised edges. The backpack as well should be pretty good. There are some mold lines on here that we'll clean up in a second, just once I've gotten the raised bits out of the way. This one again is a little rough, but I'll use the tip of the knife just to shave away some of the raised area so I can get in here with the file and rub it down. Again, be careful when you're working with knives. You don't want to cut yourself too deeply. It may be inevitable to never cut yourself, but you can be very careful and work safely. This one is good. There's a little bit we can shave away there, but we'll sand down the rest. There is a slight mold line, so I could use the back of my knife here just to rub that away. Very lightly. You don't want to press too deep and gouge the plastic. You just want to very lightly scrape that line of plastic away. And you can see it exists down here underneath the elbow pad as well. So we're going to scrape that. And it exists right here on the cuff. So we're going to scrape that. And that one is good to go. This one here as well, there's usually a little mold line on the back here. There is. So we're going to scrape that mold line away with the back of our knife. Very gently. Clean out any debris. And it's almost so fine that you can't see it. I don't know if you can see it now or not. Clean up the sole a little bit. The helmet as well, just shaving away. Just any raised bit that won't get caught by the sanding sticks. Same on the gun. Then here where we clip this away, just shaving. And here again, this one is a little rough like the arm patch was. We're just going to get most of the bump down so that the sanding sticks can do the rest. And we'll inspect the gun for mold lines. Though I don't see any. Oh no, they're here on the back. I don't know if you can tell. Right there on the, I guess I don't know what you call that, the stock. There are some mold lines there. I don't know how good you can see. But we're just going to shave them away with the back of our knife. Use our thumb to wipe it away. I'm going to use the back of the knife here on the barrel as well. Cool. All right, so now we're going to grab our sanding stick, or our file, just rub. Doesn't have to be hard, and it'll clean up a lot of that stuff. And again, here on any area where we cut and there's a raised surface, we'll just sand with the sanding stick until it is smooth. You don't have to press too hard. Just got to make sure that it's smooth to the touch. And then once it's primed and painted, you won't ever even know it was there. And if you're having trouble steadying your hand with the sanding, you can always put the file on the desk and just rub against a flat surface. But that is good there. I'll do it with the boot so you can see, because that is mostly flat. So just put it on the file, press down a little bit, drag, and you can see there that the heel is clean. And we'll do it with this one as well. Press down on the file. You can hear it when it's working. That is clean as well. We're going to come in with the file near the helmet piece here. Very gently. Just until it's smooth. There we go. Very nice. All right, and then here on the hip, there is going to be glue here, but we'll clean it up anyways. Okay, so that is both feet, the chest. Got our backpack here now. So similar situation with the boots as the backpack. It's a flat surface you're sanding. You want them to be flat in the long run. So you can just put it down on the table and sand it until it is nice and smooth. But this one, the backpack does have some mold lines on them, so we'll clean that up in a second there. Okay, so they're smooth. There are a few mold lines, so we'll just rub them away with the knife. Until they are all but gone. And these mold lines are very minor compared to the D&D model ones. Those are like heavy, like a full extruded line. But again, that's a bigger model. Okay, this one is finished. Hit the arms real quick. Okay, that one is complete. There is a little bit of a nub here that we'll clean up with the pointed file. And he is mostly clean now. Okay. There are some little mold lines on this elbow here. Go in with your back of your knife and scrape again very gently. Clean them away. Okay. Grab our file really quick. This one here is fairly clean, but I'll just run it over a couple times just to get any roughness away. Cool. All right, so that's every piece not primed, every piece clipped, sanded, ready for assembly. So I don't have the Games Workshop brand of plastic cement. I just got testers from Hobby Store. Tester's plastic cement, liquid cement for plastic. It'll do. What the plastic cement does is it causes a reaction that melts the plastic, and to the two melted pieces of plastic, when touched, fuse, and you can hardly notice a seam. If you get any spillage, it does look a little shiny, but once you prime it and paint it, you won't see it. All right, so uncap our plastic cement. Now you can take a toothpick to apply it if you want, or a tiny little brush, but just put a few dots and usually it's all right. We're going to look at our book again, and our instructions tell us first things first, apply piece 10 to piece 12. So that is piece 10. Here is piece 12. Leg. We're going to look at how it fits before we apply any cement, just so we know what we're supposed to do. Because once you start applying the cement and you touch the two pieces together, it starts to melt. So, looks like it fits like this. Flush. Like so. And you want to test it and sort of figure out where you're doing before you apply anything that you can't change. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put the glue right there on the yellow bit and attach it to part 10. So just a drop is good enough in most cases. So we'll wait for the cement to run down the tube here, and once it comes out, you don't really need to squeeze, just gravity will do it. Eventually. There we go. Just a drop. Just a drop. It'll spread. And then we'll put these two pieces together in the order that they are supposed to go in. We'll just touch them together, and now we allow them to dry. So, no need to press and ruin your model or deform it or cause spillage. Touched, let it dry, make sure it's in the right location, and we'll stand them up there. Our next step is to put part 11 on part 10, and you put the cement on part 10 and then attach part 11. So we'll let that dry for a few seconds. All right, it should be mostly firm. We're going to apply our cement to part 11, just a little bit in all of these places. So below the neckline, around the curves of the arms here, and then down in the belly. You don't want to go overboard because you'll get spillage and it'll be not nice. So we've applied our cement there. We're going to grab our chest piece, slide them on, and just touch it in place. Perfect. And now we will let that dry as well. So the next piece we're going to glue is the backpack. And then we'll glue his feet to the base, which is what it wants us to do. So I'll grab one of these bases, and we'll glue him onto it. Okay, so we'll prepare our backpack now. So we put the glue as instructed on the backpack. Just a few dots on these connecting points. And then around here. And we'll make sure that we touch them properly. Okay, backpack is on. You'll see that those points will melt together, leaving not a seam. And then once that dries, we'll glue him down to the base. Then on our next page, we've got our instructions for constructing the arms. We need to glue the sniper rifle to piece 13, then piece 13 to the torso, then piece 14 to the sniper rifle and to the torso. And then we'll put on his helmet. All right, so the backpack should be more or less dry. We'll touch a few pieces. We'll touch a little bit of cement on his feet. And then we'll get him planted here in the center of the base. And we'll just let him dry. The base might take a little longer to fuse than the other plastic parts here. Try to get him in a position that you want him in. And let him dry for a few seconds there. And you can see, there he is. So, it's coming together. Once we get all the parts on there, I'll take him outside, I'll spray him with primer, and then we'll come back in and we'll start painting. The primer I'm going to use is Citadel primer. Oh, hit the mic arm there. I'm sorry. It is White Scar primer. You can see it's starting to dry up there. It's a little wet still. In the meantime, let's glue the gun to the arm. So piece 13 will be glued to the sniper rifle. And it looks just like a little dot right here. So right there on the stock, little dot. We'll put that together like that. Again, not too much. That may have been too much. I'll wipe it away with my finger a little bit. And then we'll get the arm and stick it in. That's when we may have to hold for a few seconds while it takes. But that's what it is. All right, so we'll leave him there to dry for a second. Check on our base, see if he's dried. Yeah, he seems firm. Okay. So, gun will dry for a second. We can get our other arm in the meantime. We'll test its placement. Looks like he can only go in really one spot. The torso's curvature here only really allows it to go in one location, so that's a good thing. There's really no... It's got that little cutout there, see on the elbow? So it fits really nice right here. You don't have to mess around with it. So we can pop that on while we're waiting for the gun arm to dry. Touch a little bit. Use the tip to rub it around. Not too much. Then we'll get our piece and we'll place it. We didn't get really too much spillage on that. You can see just a fine bright line where there is a little spillage where it fuses. Looks like it's in the right place. And then while that is drying, we'll place our rifle arm. And it looks like that fits fairly well right here on the end. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like it could use a little sanding. Alexander, I literally just started this hobby 3 weeks ago. I picked them because they look cool. I'm not really sure if they're strong or not. I haven't actually played a game of Warhammer yet. Oh, I'm sorry that I can't be more helpful. I'm still kind of figuring things out. It's super fun. I like doing it. I mean, it looks like it'll be an expensive hobby, but I'm having a good time. It's pretty relaxing. Let me get some plastic cement on here. And here. And then we'll get him placed. Okay. So there we go. All right. We'll let the arms dry, and we'll stick on this helmet. And the helmet will glue all around the interior. Just being careful not to get too much on it. Alrighty. And his head is in. Or helmet. Oh, sorry, it's out of focus. This helmet is on. So that is our sniper dwarf. We're a little closer to the camera there. So I'll give them a few seconds to firm up, then I'll take them outside and spray them, and we'll come back in and start painting. Let me just get this place cleaned up a little bit, and we'll resume. All right, I'll let them dry for a little bit longer, and then I'll take them outside and spray them. And just like that, he is primed. So I'll pull him up to the camera now. Primer should be dry fairly quickly, but that is what he looks like all primed. Okay. Now we can get ready for some painting. So I've got a wet palette here. And I've got my paints. Got a little crazy on the paints, but the 6 that came with the Space Marines were definitely not enough to cover the range of things that I want to do. So I figured eventually I'd have to get some paints. I got some primary colors, some reds, a green, some base colors, some metallics. I'm trying to stay away from contrast paint because I hear that is a quick way to avoid learning how to properly paint. So we are going to base his pants and his space suit in rust gray, which is a layer paint, but we're going to use it as a base. Or we could use Stegadon scale green, and we're going to mix that with we'll make them red, I think. So I've got Evil Sun Scarlet, we got some magentas, I got some browns, I've got Mephiston red. So I think we'll use Russ, Stegadon scale. I've got some Fenrisian gray as well. Got Corax white. Got Wraithbone white. I've got some metallics, but I think we'll try to stay away from the metallics too much. And then, of course, Abaddon black. May throw a little yellow in there for some mixing. And some magenta as well. And I think that should be most of what we need in order to get this fella painted. And I'm not a professional by any means. I'm still learning, but I think stumbling through it a little bit, it's kind of fun. And we'll see what comes out of it. All right, primer should be basically dry now. Should not rub off at the touch. Yep. Seems pretty good. Let's see what the Stegadon steel looks like. Give it a little mix. Nope. Okay. So it's been sufficiently churned. Let's scoop some out of the paint pot and put it on the palette. okay. And I'm just using this brush to scoop the paints out. Get like a little bit of water here to thin it down. Then we'll grab our base brush. All right, should be thin enough. You can always go back and add more. You can't take it off. So we'll try to make it nice and thin. And then we'll start painting. So we'll do just his pants in the base color. Here. We're going to be doing his armor in red. And again, we're going to be doing multiple coats. So it should be okay. To miss a few spots because we'll come back once it's been dried. Make sure we get his buttocks. And his crotch area as well. And the inner thigh. Pay good attention to the inner thigh, the crotch, and the buttocks. And we'll continue to move across his rear. And again, it's all right if we miss some areas. We're going to come back again with another layer. Again, inner thigh. All the way up to his crotch. Get his boots. We'll get his front side here. Since this is such a dark base, I don't want to run into anything that I'm going to be painting red. So I'm trying to be as careful as I can to just get the dark areas dark. And we'll spin him upside down here for a second so we can brush his inner thighs. And I think that covers. We overshot it a little bit. Okay. So our first coat is done here with the Stegodon Steel Gray. That's how it looks for now. Let it dry for a second, then we'll come back in with the second coat. Add some more water, thin down this paint. All right, that looks like a decent consistency there. Okay, let's come back in coat number 2. Make sure we treat his buttocks nice. And then below. I think they call that part the taint, but I could be wrong. All right, well, it looks like 2 coats is what it's going to take to get the color here to stick. Get a second coat here on his undercarriage. We'll just use the tip of the brush to sneak in there. Again, just the tip of the brush to sneak into this little crevice. And then down along his crotch. Smooth out the inner thigh. Around the kneecaps, knee pads. All right, now let's work on his. There's a few little gaps here on his back that are not part of the armor. It looks to be a continuation of the suit fabric. So as careful as we can, I'm going to go in there. Trying to avoid the belt as best I can. And this might take a few coats as well. Just touching what should be touched. We did get the top side of the belt, but that's all right. We're going to water this down a little more because the arms are a little going to be exposed to a little more light, I think. If it takes a few more layers here, that's all right. This is a cloth, so we do want it to look like cloth eventually. We're not going to go onto his gloves, just the cloth. As I say that, I go onto his gloves. And we're going to be carefully just using the tip of the brush to get into these little crevices here. And that should do it for this arm. We'll let that, oh, no, it's a little bit more. All right. We will let him dry. Then we're going to go on to the other side. Okay, this one has got less cloth to cover. Should be a quick and easy deal here. Be very careful. We're going to get the back side of his arm. Again, being careful. Flip them upside down, see what we're working with here. Alrighty, that is good. Just a tiny bit here between the elbow pad and the glove. A little bit. There we go. Okay. Now we'll get a little bit thicker paint for a little thicker for round 2, and we'll come back on this arm. Okay. All right, coat 2's got him looking solid on the, what is that, his left arm? Let's do his right arm now. Coat number 2. Just being very careful. I kind of feel like Bob Ross a little bit, but I don't know how else to narrate. Oop, touched his elbow, but it's all right. We can fix it later. And then we'll go in here and get the gap between his belt. It looks like it darkened up fairly good. I think I used a thick enough flare when I went in. But just for certainty's sake, I went back over it one last time. Okay, so the base for his spacesuit is done in Stegadon Steel Gray. Then we'll do a base for his armor in, I'll probably take a mix of Mephiston Red and maybe a brown to get him a dark base. Or maybe magenta. We'll see how the magenta and the Mephiston base looks. Let's wash our brush and wait a few seconds before we start painting another color. One second, I'll be right back. Just gonna run to the bathroom. Alrighty, I'm back. Okie dokie. So let's see what browns we've got to work with. Oh, that's Lead Belcher. Ooh, Mornfang, that's not dark enough. Okay. Carne Oscura might be dark enough. I'm gonna mix that up a little bit. And we'll put some magenta in just for fun. Let's see. And then we'll grab our Mephiston red. Shake them up a little bit. Okay. Okay. All right, let's start mixing, I guess. So we'll try a little bit of red, 50-50 with the brown. That's dark. Let's add a little magenta. That's a nice dark purplish red. Oh, had some water escape on us there. So we'll try that out and see how it looks. Okay, that's good. Might be a little heavy there. I should add some water. Okay. Oh, stand by. Sorry, work call. Hello, James. Just back to painting. Get in here deep within the recesses of his armor. Do these plates. Try to avoid the belt line here. And this plate here. I don't know exactly what color we're going to make his pouches yet. Probably brown leather, but I could see black leather. And let's just get his backpack filled out. And we can change the color of some of it later. I'm thinking of maybe gold or copper as an accent color for some of the pads and plates, gizmos and gadgets. Just getting his gloves now. So he's got this watch on the underside. I'm going to avoid touching the buttons on the watch, just so that when we do highlighting, we can make it more vibrant. All right. So that's a quick base coat done there. Let it dry for a minute, and then we'll go back and do coat 2. It looks some of it looks like it's dry. Let's go back in. Sorry if the focus is dipping. I don't see it. I apologize. Okay. So, some bases done there. I think let's get the gun out of the way in black. And steg it on, and then we'll call it a night. Okay, so for the gun, mix black and steg it on. And just so that's not pure black. careful here on the top. There are some things that I could touch and then I have to go back and base in red, so just a little more careful. Sorry. Finding the right camera angle to both capture when I need to get close and when I'm painting at a reasonable distance is a little wonky. Oh, stand by again. Sorry, work call again. Now we're just getting the inside here with the gun, trying to eliminate any white bits so that it's all black. And then we'll go over, get a second coat on what we colored earlier. And then we'll flip this fella over. Get the underside of the barrel. Just any white bits we're trying to get rid of. But I don't mean like light and dark like the shades. Just anything that's direct primer I'm trying to cover up. Because we will go back in later and highlight what needs to be highlighted. We just don't want any of that white peeking through if we have not decided to allow it to peek through. Get on these fingertips. And we may come back and brighten some of the stuff up later. We'll leave the grills here on the barrel. Leave them white. And then I think now with this, we've eliminated, oh, we have not. Okay, I think now with this, let me just do a few strokes here on the scope. All right, I think we have got everything done that we needed to get done there. We might as well. I mean, we could knock out the belt and the holster. Oh, you know what? Let's do the pistol he's got back here in black as well. Okay, and we'll clean up the holster area. I'm still not sure what color I want to use for the knee pads, the elbow pads, and the belt. But he's coming along. He is coming along. He looks better in person than he does on camera. Oh, hi, John. Are you here finally? All right, let's let this settle for a second while I ruminate on what color I want the holster, belt, and pads to be. I was thinking like a gold, but I'm not sure. I mean, we've already got, so two colors. We've got the Stegadon gray and the Stegadon green and the red. Those are good colors because they're opposites. Do you want a third color? Maybe it is gold. Green, red, gold. Maybe it is gold. Not sure. If anyone wants to vote, what color do you think we should make the knee pads, belt, and elbow pads, as well as his visor? I like the idea of gold. We could do silver, or we could stay like red, orange, or maybe even green or gray. But I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Guess we'll get his belt in brown then, I guess. Maybe pouches too. All right, we mix some of the brown with the black. We'll figure out a way to make it look like leather in a minute. Or maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. It is about 10 o'clock. Time really flies when you're having fun. Oh, that was really close to the mic. Sorry. Trying to get these belt loops in red. I'm gonna have to come back later with the detail brush. The base brush just isn't cutting it. So we'll come back later with one of my fake Kolinsky, or it's a synthetic Kolinsky brush, but for the details. I'll pick up some more of that brown black mix. Okay. So I think he's all based out now. We'll come back in tomorrow and do details. Johnny, thanks for arriving late to the party, bud. You're supposed to drive community engagement. I won't let myself be disappointed again. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Probably earlier. But it's about 10:30 now, so I should probably clean up and get ready for bed. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.